excited to get back on the field this Thursday night in front of our home crowd. It's another big football game that we got to go out and try to find a way to win. I think our guys have played hard here recently. We've worked hard to improve and get better each and every week, and we got to continue to stay on the same path. The team we're playing is very competitive. They lost 5 games, about less than 4 points. They beat North Carolina on the road. And they will challenge us. So we're going to have to play well, practice well. It's quick turnaround, but I think our guys understand what's at stake, and winning is very important, and we got to go out and win the football game.
Jeff, watching your teams at Western Kentucky and Purdue, have you ever had a team that running the football was such a huge component to what you guys do to lean on? And is it comfortable for you to kind of start with that running game?
Well, I think every team is different. You analyze and evaluate who your playmakers are, make sure they get the ball, what are your strengths, defense, special teams, offense, all those things. I think right now, whatever form that we've been using has been working. I just think not turning the ball over. We had 3 possessions in the first half. That rarely happens. So possessions are becoming less and less with I don't know if it's the time clock change or what, but 3 possessions, 1 half is not a lot. So you got to make it work. And we have the last few games. So I just think having balance, moving the chains, getting first downs, getting points, not turning over is vital on offense. Playing great defense, aggressive, getting sacks, negative plays is important, and being solid on special teams. And right now, we've been doing something pretty well, and want to continue to build off that. At the same time, we work the passing game, we work the play action game. We got to make sure we're still have the ability to be effective at that as well.
Jeff, you said you liked this defense from day one. Was there any particular aspect or reason that this defense is really they're kind of getting pretty nasty now in the way they play?
Well, I think we have good athletes on defense. They like to play aggressive. We have really kind of the perfect mix of, we've got a few veterans that have played football, but really a lot more guys that didn't have experience, but yet they were hungry and they're out to prove themselves. And you want that on your defense, on your team. So a lot of these guys are trying to make a name for themselves and help their unit perform at a high level. We'll continue to rotate multiple guys in there as much as we can, which I think we have at multiple positions. The depth has helped us not only keep guys fresh, but when guys have gone down with injuries, whether it be temporarily or for multiple games, we've had the ability to adapt and pick the pieces up pretty good. So I just think that and the scheme we're trying to run, I think, has gelled well together, and they're playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Yeah. With the quick turnaround, what are the sacrifices you have to make in terms of having less time to prepare, and your biggest concerns without those 2 extra days?
Well, I think we can adjust and adapt to that pretty well. We try to be forward thinkers in what we do and how we prepare all year, and get guys ready, but yet take care of their body, get them the game healthy and fresh and able to go full speed. So I think without question, it's a short week. We've had some physical games here. The pads won't be on as much. It'll be a little more mental learning, but we will be on the field and we'll go through all the same scenarios and make sure that we're not missing the boat on that at all. And you have to prepare that way. So I just think we'll prepare hopefully just as hard and just as long as we can without banging guys around on the field and being physical in practice, and try to get guys to this game fresh and ready to play physical in the game.
Jeff, Garindo has really upped his game the last couple of weeks, and obviously you liked him when he was at Wisconsin, and he's come in here, and man, he had at his best game. What did you like about him? And I asked the Virginia Tech coach, he said, man, we would have liked to have had him. We recruited him. He had a great game, obviously, on Saturday. He obviously followed his blocks well and did things the way he was supposed to.
Well, he's a great young man. He's come in here and been a fantastic teammate from day one, been very unselfish. We feel like we have some depth at the running back room, and they all play a vital role. Of course, Jawar has made some big plays. He's very elusive. But Isaac's a different runner. He's physical. He can run downhill, he'll lower his pads, he actually has good hands and good agility for that size. And as far as straight ahead, he has really good speed that is surprising to a lot of people. So when they try to tackle him and take an angle on him, they normally don't take the angle that they probably should have. So I just think he's been hungry, he's healthy, he's out to prove himself, he's a really good teammate, he's fit in well, and we got to continue to feed those guys and get them touches and let them go make plays.
Jeff, the home field advantage that has been created here, when you coach here as an assistant in this place, it's always been loud, especially on night games, but this year it seems like that it is the energy, the buzz. Do you notice that? Do you notice the crowd, and is it an advantage for your guys the way it has been?
Well, first off, L&N Cardinal Stadium is a great venue to watch a football game. I mean, it's a fantastic venue, as good as anywhere in the country. So we take pride in that. Our players have loved coming out in front of our fans who have always been into the game and been loud and been vocal of wanting to win and wanting to do great things. So if we can give that to them, they're even louder. They continue to make a lot of noise and stand up and cheer on this football team. So I just think all those things matter. If we can create a tremendous home field advantage from here until whenever, it's a huge plus. And we've got to just continue to build that. I think right now we're in the process of building that to a level that we want, and we've got to stay on that path. But that's going to take good football play, teams that play hard and tough and smart and play to the end, and then fans that appreciate that style of playing football. And yes, we want to win as many games as we can, but we have to play that style, a style that people want to watch and want to come, pay the hard-earned money to be a part of, and that will have to continue this Thursday.
Hey Jeff, you mentioned on Saturday there were quite a few guys nicked up after Duke, and obviously there was game time decision for some of them. How do you try and manage some of those guys on a short week like this and a quick turnaround?
Well, it's part of the game, and yes, after the Duke game, we took some lumps as far as guys maybe not being able to play and having to really deal with some things that have popped up, and they were key players, but we're going to continue to try to still get them healthy and get them on the field. When that'll happen with a few, I'm not for sure. Some of them are day to day, some of them may be longer. I think we got out of this game for the most part as healthy as we could considering the circumstance. And there were a lot of new people that stepped in that were fresh, that did well, and that are continuing to be healthy. So I just think we'll work through it as much as we can. Every day is valuable. But to our guys' credit, even the guys that didn't play have tried to get healthy as fast as they can. They want to get on the field. And some of them are suffering some pretty good nicks and bruises, and probably more than that. So I give them a lot of credit. They want to go out there and help their team win, and the other guys are ready in case they can't go.
Jeff, the follow-up to the run game question, when did it become apparent to you that maybe you needed to tweak your offense some here and run the ball more? And did you have any team that similar to this at Purdue that was this balanced or not?
Well, like I said, I think, believe it or not, at Western Kentucky, one of our graduate assistants here, Ace Wells, who played at Central, 1 year led the nation in touchdowns, so he was a running back. So we've had the ability to do that, but we've had good receivers where we've at. We've been able to throw the ball. It's about scoring points. When you're playing a high level of football, you've got to find ways to score points. We've had a few games where the deep play action shot has been very effective, and we had some others maybe it hasn't. We've had a few games where the turnovers kind of hurt us, and I just think it got to the point where, okay, let's make sure we're getting points. So whether that's by air, by ground, let's get it to our playmakers' hands and try not to make very many mistakes if we can prevent it. Let's be efficient in our drives, and I think the defense will dictate what we can do a little bit more of and not. And I just think having the ability to throw and run is vital to success. You can't be one-dimensional, no matter what you think about it. At some point, teams are going to take away what you're doing well, and you have to be able to do the other. So we got to continue to work through that. But getting points and taking advantage of limited possessions is important, especially early on. When you can set the tone early on and get a lead, it allows the defense to play even more aggressive, get after the quarterback, and the offense to be slightly more conservative and make sure we're not giving anything to the defense. And if our special teams are solid, then it helps us hopefully win the football game. But like I said, that's not always going to happen. We're not always going to get the lead. We're not always going to get off to a fast start. So when you don't, you have to be able to adjust, and that's what we got to make sure we can do.
Jeff, you discussed the home field advantage. Maybe the electricity is nothing like the beginning of the fourth quarter when we're playing joking with the thief. I saw some coaches dancing and the players dancing. What's that done for morale, and when like are you going to dance?
That's a good question.
After watching a few of the coaches dance, we've had to pull the rope back on them a little bit. We don't want to embarrass our staff. But you know what? Truthfully, the energy that the fourth quarter brings, especially when the game's going the way you want, is tremendous. And I just think the fans are hyped up. Our players are. We kind of have to push them back to the sideline a little bit to make sure that we don't step over the line. But we want them to have that energy and that juice. And we still have a lot more games to win before you might see me dance.
Jeff, everybody has this next man up mentality. You guys have kind of lived it, whether it's at running back, offensive line, defensive backfield, wide receiver. What do you think that does for the entire team?
Well, we try to preach that year round that there's going to be some starters, some backups, some guys that maybe don't play as much as you want. But at some point, you're going to get on the field, and when you do, you got to be ready. And if you're ready, then you're probably going to play a whole lot more. And it's kind of the role of a backup quarterback to a certain degree, where if you enjoy that backup role too much and you're not working as hard as you should as a starter, well, eventually it's going to catch up with you. But if you're putting in the work and the time and you're just hungry as heck to get that opportunity, normally you're going to take advantage of it. So I just think we do play quite a few guys at a lot of positions. I think our team sees that. If guys can prove to us they're ready mentally and physically go in there and play and make plays and be aggressive, we're going to try to put them in there. And we want to always be that way. And we got a good nucleus of guys that work hard, that want to win, that want to showcase what they're all about. We want to give them that opportunity. And when you face good football teams, you find a way to win. It provides even more energy and incentive to go out there and work hard. So hopefully we can build on that, and even more guys can step up in this near future when we need them to.
Jeff, you guys have now had 3 home games where you haven't allowed a touchdown. I ask this a bit tongue-in-cheek. How does it feel as a former quarterback to now be a defensive coach?
Well, I tell you, defense can really help the game go smoother. Our defense is playing very, very good right now. And each week they come ready to play. They've played aggressive. They've taken advantage of the situation, and they've done a really good job. And like I said, every week is new. So as soon as you start thinking that this is how it's going to be all the time, then you have a slip up. So we have to make sure that the same hunger and focus and preparation is put in. There's still a lot of season left to play. There's a lot to play for. But if you don't win Thursday, then that's you take a punch in the gut. We don't want to take a punch in the gut. We want to continue to push forward and try to find a way to win this next one, however we need to, whatever's working for us, and can continue to work our way through the season.
Yeah, Jeff, you guys have won the toss more than you've lost it this year, and you generally defer and take it in the second half. Why is that your preference, and has that always been the way you've done it as a coach?
Well, the one-sided coin we gave the officials has worked very well for us. I've never won the toss that many times, so every time, and trust me, when it happens, I'm watching, and it's amazing that we've won the toss as much as we have. So we hope to continue to do that. But you know what? It used to be, you used to always would like to take the ball first. It was a macho, manly thing to do. Go out there and take it down the field and score and set the tone and do all those things. And while that's still true to a certain degree, you know what? Research and our history over the last 10 years has shown us that we were probably wrong. And there have been multiple games where whether it was the other team took the ball first or whether we tossed and deferred, we have probably won more of those games. And I think it's really nothing more than, nowadays, the other team gets the ball and you can stop them, you're at the advantage. You've already won the advantage. And that's kind of the goal. Our defense is playing well. They played aggressive. We've gotten stops. And that has helped us win because not only do you have the advantage then the start of the second half, you get the ball, which creates an advantage. Vice versa, if you get the ball first, it's important to take it down and score. Now, we got the ball first at Pittsburgh, took it down and score, but we still lost the game. So it doesn't always play out, but it is important you do that because they're going to get the ball to start the second half. I think we got the ball first, maybe we did. We did? Okay. So I just think we've just done it by research, and we believe in our defense. We believe we can get that first stop and hopefully get the momentum to create some advantage. And fortunately, we've taken it down and scored after the last couple games, and it's really kind of set the tone early. So it's just kind of, I'm sure maybe in a couple years, the pendulum may swing the other way, but right now we feel good about that recipe.
Jeff, kind of going back to some home field advantage, you guys have played a lot stronger at home, whether it's the drought or whatever it is. What do you feel like has gotten you guys in that mode where you've been able to be so dominant at home?
I think it's a lot of things. Yes, the home field advantage is big. Yes, the crowd noise is huge. The energy of the stadium is outstanding. Our players do feed off that. We like playing on a great surface with great footing as well. Believe it or not, that matters when you're trying to make plays and be effective. No matter what the weather is, you normally have a good surface out here. And anytime you go on the road, I mean, it's you got to adjust your cadence. You cannot maybe change the play as much. You could have a few more false starts than you want to. There's just a lot of small things that can go into it that will affect a couple of negative plays happen that can cost the game. And here, with the noise on our side, it can affect it the other way. So it is an advantage. We need to use it as an advantage, and we need to make sure we're continuing to keep our crowd into the game because they can definitely be a very helpful factor to help us win the game.
Jeff, we talked a lot about the tight end position all year. One guy that I think gets caught, I think he's an H-back, is Dwayne Martin. His snaps have gone up the last few weeks, and it looks like a couple touchdowns. He's the one kind of leading the way. He's kind of the battering ram. How has he progressed, and what have you seen from him?
Well, Dwayne Martin has done an outstanding job, and I think maybe early on, myself and us as coaches didn't recognize how valuable he is. So we've kind of sold him short early on, and every time he's been in there, he has produced. He blocks hard. He knows the package. He plays aggressive. He's more athletic than we even initially thought, and we need to continue to use him in a lot of roles. So I just think he's very valuable to this team. Very unselfish. The guys look up to him. He's a quiet, confident young man that just plays hard, but he knows his role. He plays it well. He understands what we're doing. He doesn't have mental mistakes. He's very sharp, and we got to continue to use him more. So I think you'll see him in there as much as we can, and he's been very valuable, and he's helped us win a lot of games by playing as well as he has. And that's just due to his hard work and work ethic.
Hey Jeff, I know this is your first year coaching Ashton Gelati, but he's really taken a lead even from showing flashes last year and consistently producing. Just what has impressed you about his growth and his development this season?
Well, Ashton reminds me a lot of George Karlaftis, who we had at Purdue, who was a first-round pick of the Chiefs. Kind of can play defensive end, but maybe move inside as well. He has that dual threat ability to do both, where he's a strong end that can, in our opinion, play on the edge of the defense, set the edge, come off the line of scrimmage with power and pop, but yet has some speed and quickness as well. If you want to move him inside and create some mismatches, he can do that very good also. He creates push, he's got quickness and agility, he understands football, he's really strong, doesn't miss practice, doesn't miss reps. He's just very durable. So I just think, and he's played. So he's already played quite a bit. So he had experience before we got here, and he's proved very valuable in this defense. Now we rotate guys in there and try to keep him fresh as well, but he's a dominant player for us, and it shows up every week.
Last two, Kendrick and Kent.
Jeff, if you keep going 1-0 the next few weeks,
you'll have a chance to play in the ACC championship. How do you address that with your team coming down the stretch of the season?
Well, I think everyone reads and sees what's out there on Twitter and all those things, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think for us, it's simple. You know, if you win and take care of business, then good things can happen. So we got to come back off a short week and try to win this next football game. If we do that, then good things are still possible. But it's important that we understand that none of this can happen if you're not winning.
With the short week and as important as Jawar is to you, how do you manage that week? And do you maybe take some confidence from what you saw from Isaac, knowing that, you know, if you do have to rest him, that Isaac can certainly?
Well, I think we want to try to get Jawar even more healthy, and we'll try to do that. You know, we used him some, but we were able to use other running backs, which helped take the load off. I think, you know, even Jawar enjoyed watching the other running backs play and do some good things, and he wants to win football games, so he's very unselfish. So you know, we'll still try to get him ready as much as we can to play this Thursday and see how he is. You know, he still has the unique ability to make guys miss in the hole. He's very elusive, and we need all the elements we can to win football games. So we'll definitely go into this game trying to use everyone that we can at our disposal that's healthy enough to play.
All right, Coach.